Hi, I'm Abby. It's the last day of 2023, and this is the Year in Review special. For starters, this was supposed to be a Christmas special, but I lost power, then got really sick. But I still wanted to tell you this story because I don't think I've told it anywhere else. For Christmas 2017, that's when I got my very first record player. It was one of those little suitcase players, the brown tweed one because it looked the most vintage. I was in art school and wanted to fit in with the cool kids. I didn't know any better. So I unwrapped this record player and I'm really happy about it, and I unwrapped the rest of my presents. And then my parents look at each other and realize they didn't get any albums. My dad thought my mom was gonna get them, and my mom thought my dad was gonna get them. They're divorced now, if you can imagine. So the day after Christmas, my sister and I drove to the mall. I went into an Urban Outfitters, which was the coolest place in the world if you were a freshman in college in 2017, okay? And I bought my first 2 albums. I have them right here. AM by Arctic Monkeys and Lana Del Rey, Born to Die. When we got home, I opened up my Discogs account and thus began my record collecting journey. All because of an accident. Not unlike my presence here on YouTube. 2023 was a wild year. The first full calendar year of Vinyl Monday on YouTube. This is my 3rd year of doing this. I only brought it to YouTube in May of 2022, though. The series was exclusive to Instagram, blah, blah, blah. It's established Abigail DeVoe lore at this point. A lot happened on the channel, and you loyal viewers made so much of that happen. So, here is your year in review. Reviews. Starting on New Year's Day, I edited the VU and Nico video while viciously hungover and eating plain pasta, so it truly could have only gone up from there. Then a futile attempt at wrapping my head around the Bee Gees rock opera and the Sunshine Superman video, in which I somehow pissed off a very famous photographer. The highlight for sure was either the end of January or very beginning of February, I honestly can't remember, appearing on my first podcast. My first spot on the Gen X Muse podcast is the 2nd most listened to episode in the podcast's history, second only to the Cowsills. It's the Cowsills, #1, and then me? We had a pretty quiet start to February with my evaluation of sheer heart attack. I went on vacation in Lake George, got the flu, broke my finger. But on the 6th, I posted a video celebrating the 25th anniversary of one of my favorite records from college. Neutral Milk Hotels in the Aeroplane Over the Sea. I love you, Jesus Christ. I didn't think anything would come of it. I'm a 60s and 70s rock and roll channel, and this is a folk album from the year before I was born. I knew I needed to riff on the Drumhead Lady meme, so I did something I'd never done before. I photoshopped myself into the album cover. And something interesting happened. That video got about 20,000 views in just 2 weeks. It was the first Vinyl Monday that blew up, and from then on, I knew I was onto something. The thumbnails went back to the old format for Strange Days and Simon and Garfunkel. I had dreams of being a musician once. Hello, darkness, my old friend. My finger is straight up gray in both of those videos. But then came the 50th anniversary of Dark Side of the Moon. He cut and pasted those parts to make a 7-part loop. The first Vinyl Monday to get demonetized, by the way. Thank you, Roger Waters, not very cool. I photoshopped the thumbnail again. It blew up again. Did it for Ram the first week of March. That video did well too. I appeared on another podcast, Losing My Opinion. I was super excited for that.
Songs which
Father, yes, son, I want to kill you.
Well, that one I know what he's talking about, but some of the other ones, not so much.
But on March 13th, I posted what is arguably this channel's aha moment. It's the most viewed video on my channel. Now, when you Google the original album art, the thumbnail of my video is on the first page of search results! I'm thankful for all the opportunities the Blind Faith video has given me, like appearing on the Play That Rock and Roll podcast for the first time in April, and creating one of my favorite running gags on this channel, the Blind Faith jump scare. Okay, we're safe. I have not always been thankful for that video's response. It was the first time I expressed an opinion that challenged how the majority feel about some aspect of the album. You know, album art bad. But I am thankful for how that response has prepared me for this channel's meteoric rise. March moved so fast and I photoshopped thumbnails all the way. The mid-season special was Pet Sound, and literally right after that came the second most viewed video on this channel, Houses of the Holy. April was an interesting month. I started it off with the first two-part episode, CSN, and a review of the then brand new Boy Genius record. We hit 10,000 subscribers and did a Q&A that was so much fun. As for live performance, literally any show live at the Grandie from 67 to 69, drop me at the Grandie and I swear I'd have a chance with at least one of them. Somewhere between Revolver, a photo shoot, and a random 80-degree day in which I filmed Electric Ladyland, this is something you guys don't know about. I was given an offer, then almost immediately ghosted by a major music podcasting network. I don't want to give too much away, but next year, I hope to make them really regret doing that. I posted a video about an album that is a little close to home. I covered Unknown Pleasures, the month I became older than Ian Curtis of Joy Division will ever be. I'm reiterating here that I will never cover Closer. Okay? I can't bring myself to do it. I hope you understand. Thank you for being gentle with me in respect to that. Now, during all of this, I got a one-line email asking if I had a P.O. box. I said yes, and this person sent me 60 pounds of albums in the mail. Since the spring, I have received about 100 pounds of fan mail from you guys. To anyone who has ever gifted an album to Vinyl Monday, thank you so much. Every album I featured this month, besides Beggar's Banquet, was sent to me in the mail by one of you. I love and cherish the treasures you send me. The viewers make this series happen. You are the reason I needed this shelf. Echoes, the best Pink Floyd song. The best Pink Floyd song! In May, I took a huge risk, Mod Month, and aside from the Radiohead video, it was an abject failure. That's the thing about doing this. Not every risk is gonna pay off. I will be bringing Mod Month back, just restructuring it to be more engaging for you guys, and I'll come out and say it, less of a financial loss for me. At the end of the month, I posted another anniversary. Souvlaki, 30 years later. I thought I'd be the only one who gave a damn about this album, and I was right. It's one of the best episodes of Vinyl Monday, and like no one has seen it. I also realized I have a big fat crush on Neil Halstead on camera. You should watch for that alone. Okay, like 40-year-old Neil is seeming cute all of a sudden. Oh god, it's the tooth gap. Ah! But the short version, that performed the best a short version ever has and probably ever will. Why? Because Rachel Goswell herself saw it and posted it onto the official Slowdive Instagram story. 1/5 of Slowdive knows I exist! In my birth month of June, I celebrated by posting whatever the hell I wanted. Jefferson Airplane, Neil Young for my Neil Young birthday, Bob Dylan, and the Beatles. I'm gonna have to review Yellow Submarine. 20,000 subscribers, no, 25,000 subscribers, and I will review Yellow Submarine. And hey, remember that God run back in March? It paid off in a way I never expected.
Hi, I'm Abigail DeVoe.
On the last day of March, Pietro Di Gennaro, the host of a little music show in Atlanta called Now Dig This, reached out and offered me a spot on the next episode. I agreed, and on my birthday weekend, I got to introduce the knee-highs. July was another big month. I started it off with my second annual 4th of July special, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, then a first for the channel. I reduxed a previous Vinyl Monday. My original Are You Experienced episode just wasn't up to par with the rest of my work, so I redid it, and it was so much better. Expect more reduxes. Then came Transformer. In that video, I made a lot of people mad by dispelling myths about hormone blockers and by simply saying that trans people deserve to medically and socially transition. I always say at the end of my videos that your opinion matters, but if your opinion involves referring to a whole group of people as an issue, debate, ideology, and crisis, then guess what? Your opinion doesn't matter. Just a week later, I posted another 90s album video. With the surprise success of Aeroplane and the massive letdown of Souvlaki, I had no idea how this one was gonna go. This was my very first favorite album, and I was so scared, but I had Photoshop, a pair of fairy wings, my sister, and a dream. My dress is too big to go in through the other side. I edited us both into the Siamese Dream album cover, the thumbnail was a hit, and people loved the episode. It's one of my favorites I made this year. So let me get this straight. A band down on their luck, recording their sophomore album in 1992 for a 1993 release, experiences a relationship breakup that threatens to pull the whole band apart? I rounded out the month with my very first, and to date only, episode of I Don't Like. Don't worry, babes, there will be plenty more albums I don't like for 2024. In August, the 1969 miniseries did so well, but like, come on. It's the Beatles, King Crimson, and Led Bloody Zeppelin. Of course you were gonna like it. And the 50th anniversary of Goat's Head Soup. And September was the season 2 finale. I did my first head-to-head album review, Smile vs. Smile, and you guys liked it. I'll definitely try another in 2024. My old laptop died literally right after completing the bonus episode, so I went into season 3 with a new one. In the season 3 premiere, I decided to go completely unfiltered surrounding the death and deification of Kurt Cobain and vilification of Courtney Love. All of the insensitive, sexist garbage surrounding the whole thing, and you all somehow took me seriously while I was wearing wings. It wasn't easy, but you guys know me. I'm pretty uncompromising with my beliefs. The next week, September 25th, was wild. Please, Roger, don't do this! I have a family to feed!
Fuck you! My dad died and I'm making it everyone's problem!
I posted the 3rd most viewed video on my channel, The Wall, in which I photoshopped myself into the wall. I went to a slow dive gig, drove through the pouring rain to get there, ate a falafel sandwich that made me violently ill, was this close to Neil Halstead, hit 20,000 subscribers during the gig, and while in the merch line, I was recognized in public for the very first time. That's a dream come true moment. Thank you, kind viewer, who approached me with your phone in your hand, literally showing me the thumbnail of the Wall video that I had just posted that morning. That was the best way you could have possibly approached me, and I'm so glad you like my videos, and I'm so sorry that I'm so awkward in public. Then came October. Hi, I'm Abby, I have a lot of records, and this is Forever Goddamn Changes. While I was posting innocuous little videos like the 20th anniversary of Transatlanticism, a spooky series, finally giving in to an entire subscriber base, bullying me into covering Forever Changes, I had something up my sleeve. And no, it wasn't filming my spot on the Hangfire podcast that wouldn't come out for another 2 months. Since January, quite literally since posting the VU and Nico video through all of the insanity I just described, I was secretly working on my biggest project yet. On the 55th anniversary of the recording of Kick Out the Jams, I surprise dropped MC5 A Brief History, a behemoth of a video with 3 album reviews, 2 compilations, the first ever Vinyl Monday intermission, a corkboard, and a whole lot of love from my favorite band. The absurdity of all of this has only just caught up to me. Again, I was terrified that no one would care about this, but ultimately, you proved that ABH was too big to fail. That video, film really, it's the exact runtime of Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, was a Herculean effort for a channel my size. And fun fact, it was supposed to be even longer. I had to trash a whole part of my script because I realized very early on that an entire chapter on post-MC5 side projects was just not in the budget. No, neither Dennis nor Wayne have seen ABH, and part of me kind of hopes that they don't. I don't know, I'm so used to knowing that the people I make videos about will never see them, either because they're boomers who don't know how social media works, or they're just busy, or they're dead. So in the event that a member of MC5 saw ABH, I would not at all be equipped. However, sometimes I do cross paths with the right people. Like a friend of Cynthia Plastercasters. Cynthia was one of my groupie heroes. It's Miss Pamela and her, one for writing and one for art. I went to art school. I'm not so much a music critic or semi-public figure as I am a failed artist and failed art historian. You know that thing that's going around on TikTok right now? Jupiter was supposed to be a star, but it failed? That was me. Cynthia was the perfect intersection of my loves of art and rock and roll, and I was gutted when she passed in 2022 before I ever got to meet her. Cynthia cast Dennis and Wayne, if you remember. This friend of hers saw ABH and reached out. Thanks to this amazing person's amazing generosity, I now own this print of the Beatles sketches she made in art school. Yes, I also own 2 copies of what she's actually known for. No, you will never see them, but it shouldn't be hard to narrow down which ones I've got. This person entrusted me with sacred relics of rock and roll history. This is the highest honor I've ever been bestowed with. Fuck my college degree, it's this. And this is a kinship that I will cherish forever. After ABH, I took a break. Psych? No, I didn't. I just told you all I was so you'd get off my dick. I posted Rubber Soul, Wheels of Fire, Return to Now Dig This for their first ever hour-long episode in which I introduced Bad Spell. I hopped back on the Play That Rock and Roll podcast where I got to interview BB Buell. I interviewed someone for the first time! And on Jimi Hendrix's birthday, I posted a video for Axis Bold as Love. Axis was Noel Redding's favorite Experience album. Thanks to you, my video made it all the way to England and the Noel Redding Project. They're trying to raise funds for a statue of him, I think to put in his hometown, and I think that's really cool. Again, thank you behind the screen, for putting me in contact with amazing, like-minded people. I thought I was the only Noel Redding girly. There are more! And finally, double album December. If you haven't seen those, what the fuck? Go watch that. You guys gave me one last gift this year. You made my spot on the Hot Child in the Cities, The Songs That Shaped Me, the 6th most listened to talk show on Mixcloud globally that week. Globally. In the world. There's a whole world of you freaks, and I adore you. The reason I listed all of these achievements was not to brag, except for Rachel Goswell knowing I exist and commenting on one of my Instagram posts. I'll never shut up about that. I'm doing this to show all of you viewers everything you've made possible. If it weren't for you watching the videos, liking the videos, commenting on the videos, sharing them with your friends and family, sending me 100 pounds of fan mail, I wouldn't be doing this. It's all thanks to you. Vinyl Monday is something for you to be proud of. I won't lie to you, 2023 was a weird and kind of bad year for me mental health-wise, but assembling this year in review special put things into perspective. All the interviews, smiles and laughs, stories in my comments, 2 nickels jokes, making me arguably one of the figureheads of the YouTube vinyl community. A community I never intended to be a part of, it just kinda happened. It was all because of your love and support for this thing. Thank you. My goals for 2024. Keep reviewing albums, keep photoshopping goofy-ass thumbnails. With any luck, I might co-host Now Dig This. That would be really cool. Maybe disrupt the podcasting world the same way I am actively disrupting YouTube's vinyl community. Even interview some people. Who knows? Maybe I'll cross paths with Pamela Day Barr. Maybe I'll interview Wayne Kramer someday. Or Dennis Thompson. You know, if that wouldn't descend into 2 very similar, very stubborn people having a stubborn people pissing contest. Wait, that sounds amazing! Before we go, here's a supercut of every album I wish I reviewed this year. The big one was The Who's Quadrophenia. I really thought I was gonna circle back around to The Who this year, but I just couldn't get to it. I had every intention of reviewing Ocean Boulevard, but I prioritized reviewing Boy Genius instead. I really wanted to cover the new Slowdive record when it came out, but that was just in the middle of all of the season finale nonsense. I simply could not. How the hell did I miss out on more Donovan? Wish I covered Queen 2, wish I covered Rush, wish I covered Yes on my own channel. I did it briefly on someone else's. Wish I had the time for more Bowie. Patti Smith, I don't own any of her albums, but it'd be a wonderful excuse to. And I missed some big anniversaries. The 50th of Lark's Tongues, the 40th of Speaking in Tongues, and the 35th anniversary of Sonic Youth's Daydream Nation. The first 2 were major oversights, so sorry about that. As for the third, I was actively resisting getting into Sonic Youth for years, but I finally saw the light, like, this week. All it took was having a crush on Thurston Moore. And that's our year in review! The next time you will see me is on Monday, January 8th, 2024 for our belated 25,000 subscriber special. I know it's a little late, but you guys did that literally right before Double Album December. I simply did not have the time. Better 6 weeks late than never, right? Thank you so much for watching. Happy fucking New Year, and I'll see you guys on the 8th. Bye!